Coach Jones here with I Love Basketball Elite, and I'm going to show you how to properly do a behind the back dribble. Let's check it out. So we have a lot of different change of direction moves. We got the crossover, we got between the legs, we got it in and out. So I'm gonna show you how to do it behind the back. Now you wanna do it behind the back only when it's absolutely necessary. But I do like the behind the back because you get to keep your eyes on the basket, you get to keep the eyes on your coach, on your defender, your cutting teammates, and not lose too much while you're doing a move versus a move like a spin move where you're turning your back. So behind the back is really necessary whenever you have a defender cutting off that space. You don't have much space to do a crossover, or you're scared to do it between the legs and you don't have much room to operate. You want to make sure you go behind the back and protect that basketball. So I want to show you how to do that behind the back. There's two different footworks that are usually taught when doing this change of direction move. So my favorite footwork when doing this is in a 1-2 footwork. So if I'm advancing the ball up the court and I'm driving to my weak hand, I want to plant my inside foot, which is my right foot right now. I want to plant it plant my outside foot, and then I want to wrap. Okay, so if I'm driving, going right, left, after I plant that outside foot, I want to slam that ball, pound that ball on the ground so that ball comes back to me. If not, it's going to be weak and it's not going to come back to me in the game, and it's going to be harder to wrap that ball around my back. So when I plant inside out, I want to wrap that basketball and I want to slap my opposite hamstring, my inside hamstring, so that ball comes back to me. If I cut it short, the ball is going to go too far back and I'm going to have to reach to get the basketball. I don't want to reach to get the basketball. I want to keep my momentum going forward. All right, so I plant inside out, wrap that basketball, hit my opposite hamstring. That's the footwork for my favorite footwork for going behind the back. And it was the same thing going the opposite way. We're going planting inside out, wrap, keeping our momentum going forward and right to the basket. Now, another way to do the behind the back, which is more preferred among the guys that I'm seeing that I train, they like to go behind the back after a hop. Okay, so if I'm driving behind the back, I can come to a 2-foot hop and I can throw the ball behind the back and then continue advancing the basketball up the court or on my drive. Okay, and that's a little bit easier for most players to do, which is not wrong to do at all. So I'm driving, I jump off of 1 foot, I land on 2, and I throw that ball behind my back while I'm going to the basket. So let's check it out. Going, plant, and drive. Okay, same thing going to the other side. Driving to the basket, jump off 1, land on 2, go behind the back. Now, one thing you want to make sure you do, you keep that basketball low. If the basketball is too high, then you want to have good defenders who have long arms. They may poke it from you and go the opposite way to get a steal. So make sure you keep that basketball low. You are low, and try to keep the ball at least below or even to your hip. Anything higher can be easily stolen. Now, another variation of behind the back is kind of a KYRIE-esque behind the back. So instead of going, driving, getting cut off, 1-2, inside, outside move, and instead of going, jump off 1, land on 2, and going to the basket, you want to kind of gallop or glide over and cover more ground. So if I'm driving to the basket, I want to glide and go to that basket and finish my drive. So what we're doing here, we're slamming that ball again one more time. I'm gonna slam that basketball. I'm gonna gallop, or I'm gonna skip and go kind of east-west away from the defender. So I'm driving, whatever move I do to set it up, slamming it. I'm covering more ground. I'm still wrapping that basketball around my waist, slapping my opposite hamstring, all right? Same thing, practice that move going both ways with both hands. I'm driving, I slam it, boom, and go. Now you wanna make sure you don't throw that ball way too far in front of you, because you do, you're gonna have to chase the basketball, and you don't wanna chase the basketball because you have help defenders, you got other teammates, and it may be too crowded. So make sure you practice all 3 of these behind the back moves. You got one, my favorite, where you're driving, somebody cuts you off, going inside, outside to the basket and finishing, or you may have a help defender come, pass, or you can get to these finishes where you're going stride, stop, and finishing. You got a behind the back where you're gathering, you're jumping off of 1, landing on 2, jump off 1, land on 2, come to a controlled stop, Make sure you secure the basketball. We don't want any turnovers. And the last one, you have the KYRIE-esque move where you're driving. You want to wrap that ball a little bit farther out to gather it, to make sure you're more elusive so the defense can expect what you're doing. So I want to give you some drills that you can practice at home. You don't need much space. If you got a driveway and a basketball or a garage and a basketball, you can practice these moves to make sure you have a better behind the back, you have a tighter handle on that dribble. So I like to do stationary drills because a lot of guys try to do moves on the move, but they can't do it standing still, stationary. So all you need to do is get low, get in a good stance, make sure your knees are bent. And when you do these moves, you want to make sure you're envisioning that elite defender right in front of you. You don't want to come into the garage or wherever you're doing these moves and chill like this. This is not getting better, all right? You're going to lose a basketball, you're going to mess up. That's the part that's going to make you a better ball handler. So you're getting low, you're pounding, get comfortable first, going behind the back, eyes are up. Now you want to speed it up, all right? Something that simple gets your handle a lot better. If you mess up, it's fine, all right? Now, once you get comfortable doing that, now you can practice that footwork on the first one. So we're going right, left, behind the back. Back up, attack, inside, outside, back up, attack, inside, outside, attack, all right? Same footwork for the other one. Want to jump off one, land on two, reverse, come back, jump off one, land on two until you get smooth and comfortable with it. And last but not least, the KYRIE move. You're driving, gallop, stop, come back, driving, gallop, come back, and keep doing this until you get fatigued, get about 10, 15 reps per set, do about 3-4 sets of this until you cannot get it wrong. Hey, if you're watching this video, then you're obviously a grinder, not a sleeper. So make sure you go to the gym, apply this behind the back move, comment below, let us know how it works. Like this video, comment, subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep getting this content sent to you. It's Coach Jones, and I'm going to check you on the next video.